it was one of the big attractions at Burning Man 2007, the Steampunk Treehouse, a massive art installation of welded iron and fanciful filigree, created by a team of techno artists and erected on the otherworldly playa at the Freeform happening. Now the crew behind the project is getting ready for an encore in front of a much larger, more mainstream audience at Coachella 2008. Industrial artist Sean Orlando, the overall visionary and team leader, talks to us at this West Oakland factory.
Quote keeps reverberating through is I think it's by Benjamin Franklin. We aim to be rather than seem. So we're creating things that actually work, not just sort of look to me like they work.
Jeremy Crandall is another prime mover behind the project.
Part of Kinetic Steamworks' mantra, or their goal, was to not have the tractor necessarily be the art. It was more of a display of how we used to do power, but rather allow that to be the power for other kinds of kinetic and interactive art.
Kinetic Steamworks, from that traction engine we saw, would drive up to the treehouse, and you have underground lines that they would plumb into from the engine and open a whole bunch of valves. And then the steam throughout the branches would vent to atmosphere and create steam effects.
So what is steampunk?
I think that a lot of people see steampunk as an alternate reality almost of science fiction, where people are conceiving of a world where steam power was still an option.
Steampunk is a genre of science fiction and visual arts that imagines a world in which the internal combustion engine was never invented. It's a mashup of 19th century Edwardian culture, the world of seminal authors like Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, with their imagined future, replete with time travel and digital calculators.
And why a treehouse?
Makes sense. It's the ultimate fantasy world, a place for children to act out their wild imaginations. A steampunk treehouse is a place for grown-up artists and technologists to do the same.
The hideout, we probably all had some place that did have, so all the imagination of what that was. This was actually being to make concrete some of those ideas that I think all of us had that shared vision. I mean, Sean said, it's going to be kind of like this, maybe like this, and then everybody just threw their ideas in the pot.
It was really amazing to be able to put this idea across to people of what I was envisioning, and then have them really just get it. They really understood the aesthetic and helped. I couldn't even conceive of half the stuff in this house. It's a combination of everyone's creativity and involvement. The crew's made up of over 50 people, so it's comprised of scientists, engineers, design engineers, structural engineers, artists, IT guys, programmers.
The cool thing about this project is that as it began to happen, people would come from different, I say communities, but there's different projects I think that happen that people sort of stay coalescing around, but then they spin off and they help out with something else, and that reforms as another project.
Nathaniel Taylor custom fabricated. He has a CNC router, and this is all made out of aluminum. He did a lot of research on whistles and all kinds of designs, and he came up with this one that he could fabricate out of metal. And there's all different sizes.
Notes, I guess
they give you tunes and different notes. And this was the control mechanism that he designs that would go under the house that would connect to the control station inside the house.
Well, now steam calliopes, that's an old technology, right? Or
yeah.
People have been doing those.
Yeah. It's an organ essentially, powered by steam. Through the window, you'd be able to see the whistles out on the branches. You can sit here and you can push this forward. It's on a spring that allows it to return, and pulls a cable down to the manifold under the house that would open a valve to release steam into the whistles. Alan Rory here, one of the artists in the crew.
So I don't know if you noticed in the house there are the 3 holes
on one wall. This is the piece that goes there. And it's a series of apertures. Each of these open and close. The blades, or the leaves, as they're sometimes called, look like this. And they all go around. They basically sit just like this in here, with a pin sticking up and one sticking down. And then this plate sits on top of it. You can see this matches up with this handle.
Yeah.
And as you rotate this, and these pins sit in these slots. They go down and they go over, and that's how you get this
like an
rotational
iris or
motion.
something.
It's exactly.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. And it's designed so that all these plates, everything lines up. So it's supposed to be a communications device of some kind.
I see.
So you dial in different settings. And
It's called the tri-apparator.
the tri-apparator. Yep.
So we tried to be as authentic as we could. The embossed wallpaper and trying to make everything age. Like it wasn't just built. It's been around for a while. And that's part of that whole antique, vintage, Victorian, Edwardian aesthetic.
Right, the notion that this thing actually was built 150 years ago and was just recently discovered. Or something.
Yeah.
So wait, so when you're coming in, is this the entrance?
This is the entrance, yeah. Ben Carpenter, he designed this railing and helped design a lot of the balcony railings here as well. This is another piece by Alan, who you just met. It's a time machine. This would cinch down here to capture it, or you can move it out or in to get to the inside. And then the steam engine was hooked up to it. Would hook up to this gear and then spin it.
And next thing you know, we're in Coachella 1835.
There's a collage painting that goes behind our main electrical panel to hide that. David designed that main junction right there so we can access all our power, and then we have a nice beautiful painting that goes over it. The steam chest here hides a lot of the guts of the sound system. There was a sound system inside the trunk that would reverberate, so we turned the steel trunk that's 20 feet tall into a giant subwoofer. And a massive speaker underneath this manhole cover. Yeah, we brought a little bit of Oakland via, yeah.
How did it come about, the relationship with Coachella?
I went down with Kinetic Singers last year. We all went down there last year. You were with Michael Christian's.
There's it's kind of neat. There's groups from North Bay, Oakland primarily, and folks from LA. Some folks from Arizona primarily.
Doing pieces at Coachella.
Yeah, their Golden Voice invites them out there because it's supposed to be not just a music festival, but a music and art festival.
But unfortunately for Stagecoach and Coachella, we're not going to have a steam engine there, so we're not going to have live steam. They're worried about liability. Install the outriggers on the trunk, get that upright and get it in place so they can mark out where it needs to go, flags, and then take it away and trench it out, just like we do on the flag. It's designed really well to come apart and be put back together really quickly, over 2 or 3 days, really quickly.
And this is going to be 2 or 3 days of continuous work to set it up. So this is a much more involved piece than anything they've had up there before. It's just been a great opportunity, I think, to expose that stuff to a wider audience. We really enjoyed it, yeah. I think there's been a lot of folks who've taken photography, video, and blogged about it that had lots of really great things to say. And we're really proud of that. The fact that it was, again, that whole concerted effort from a bunch of people coming together. It's by far the best art project I've worked on.